everyone, it's Haley, and today I'm going to be doing a spoiler-free review for My Heart and Other Black Holes by Jasmine Warga. So before I get started, major trigger warning for this book in regards to suicide and depression. So this book tells the story of Azelle, and Azelle has become depressed and suicidal after her father has committed this hideous crime that leaves her hated by everyone in their small town. So Azelle has been planning on committing suicide for a while now, but doesn't trust herself to do it on her own. So she seeks out a suicide partner and finds one in Roman, a boy who is haunted by a family tragedy. So after spending so much time together preparing for the big day, Azelle finds herself getting cold feet as their relationship develops, and she's trying to decide whether she wants to live with Roman or die with him. So first off, for the writing was nothing really groundbreaking or spectacular for me. I felt like it was pretty average. It wasn't bad, it was good, but it wasn't really great. I did like the little elements of physics terminology that were kind of woven into it, because Jasmine Warga, she is a physics teacher, and I like the fact that Azelle was a physics nerd, so then there was the whole idea of the potential energy and where it would go when you die and all that stuff. I really liked that little aspect to it. And I really enjoyed the striking honesty and emotion of this book. I thought it was really honest to what depression is and what like being suicidal is, and I really could appreciate that. It offered a view of mental illness where you could see the characters struggling with it, but you could also see them apart from their illness. They didn't just kind of mesh with it, and they weren't just this depressed character. They were apart. You could see them apart from that as well. The characters were clearly troubled and depressed on the inside, but you would see them smiling and laughing a lot of the time on the outside, and I think that was really true to what it was like to be depressed. Overall, the writing would get a 4 out of 5 stars for me. As far as the characters go, I think Azelle was the character that I connected with the most. She was someone who I think wanted to die but didn't. I think her suicide was kind of a cry for help. I'm not saying that she was doing it for attention by any means, but I think she just wanted someone to notice that she was hurting and that she was still there and she needed someone's help. She was struggling a lot with her father's crime, and she felt like she could, like, since she was related to him and she grew up with him, she felt like she could commit a crime like that, and she thought she had the same qualities as him, and she became really afraid of herself, and I think that's kind of what drove her into this depression, and she just really needed help getting out of it and kind of coping with the fact that her father did such a terrible thing. I basically think her suicidal thoughts kind of stem from a place of desperation as she's kind of drowning in all of these confused feelings and doesn't know what to do. Because all of this occurred at a time where she is trying to figure out who she is, so it was kind of groundbreaking to her, and her world completely shifted upside down, and she's just completely lost now. So I don't think she wanted to die. I think she just wanted someone to help her find the will to live, and she found that person in Roman. Roman was a very interesting character because I felt so bad for him because his story is just really heartbreaking. He holds so much guilt because of this tragedy that has happened, and I don't think he will ever stop harboring all that guilt. The guilt is just eating away at him, and I think he thinks the only way he can kind of get rid of that is to die, and I think that's what he thinks he deserves. I gave the characters a 5 out of 5 stars. I think they were my favorite part of the book. As far as the plot, the fact that suicide partners, I had never heard of that before, and it honestly scares me that that is an actual thing. Like, I googled it and everything. It's a real thing, and it's super, super scary that like people do that. That's very scary and very sad. But I thought that this book was a great way to kind of bring awareness to that and kind of get that out in the open, so people can be aware of it and talk about it. And I honestly thought it was a very interesting concept for the story. The whole book is kind of leading up to the day that they are doing it, and there's this whole tension leading up to that day, and you're wondering, like, are they going to die? Are they not? Because Azelle is getting cold feet, and she thinks that, like, she wants to live with Roman, but she knows that he just really wants to die and he doesn't feel the same. So it's kind of this whole tension between wanting to live and wanting to die, and there's kind of equal reasons for both. So it kind of led them to not only be at war with themselves but also with each other, and whether they were going to live or die together. It just made for a very unique story. So I gave the plot a 5 out of 5 stars. overall, I gave the book a 5 out of 5 stars. I thought it was a really great kind of conversation starter about suicide and depression. I really appreciated the way it dealt with it, and I thought it was very unique. I really liked a lot of the concepts in there. I thought they worked very well together. And although this book was very dark in many ways, and it was really hard to read at times, it had a little bit of a hopeful note, which I really liked. I would recommend this for fans of 13 Reasons Why, Eleanor and Park, anything by Laurie Halse Anderson really, or We Were Liars, just stuff like that. I think if you enjoyed, you would really enjoy this. So that is going to be all for today's review. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you have read this book and what your thoughts were on it. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!